Hello there and welcome to another episode of the podcast. We're just a couple of days away, or depending on when you listen to this, it could be a couple of hours away. But we are nearly there. 2025 is just around the corner and we are at the National Tap, owned by Grey Trees, which is Aberdare's local brewery. So thanks to Tracy and the guys for letting us come in today. They'll be on site serving beer as well, so make sure you check that out. Jay, looking forward to this year?
Yeah, it's going to be a good old meeting. The weather's looking really, really hot.
Yeah.
Maybe detrimental to lap times. We might see lap records go, but we might not because it might be too hot.
I remember the last time it was too hot as well. We had an issue with the tarmac melting, so it can be a bit detrimental at times. But yeah, the weather looks unbelievable. Ticket sales are flying as well, so it's going to be another busy one.
But green light are back there as well.
Yeah. We've got live timing, live streaming all over the world. Subscriptions are going out as well. We've been told is really good. And yeah, back on TV with ITV as well. So it's going to be another busy year. Slightly less busier for you this year, Jay.
Yeah.
First time for quite a few years where you're not taking part.
I think 2018 was the last time I missed one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But just running out of money and just I haven't been enjoying the racing the last few times I've been out. So I'm not, I'm in a good headspace now, but I wasn't at the beginning of the year. I had a couple of accidents, badly hurt my back and hurt my elbow. And yeah, just, I don't expect other people to pay for my hobby. So I just do what I can with what I got. Decided to take a step aside just for this year. I understand racing's always going to be there, so just come back fitter, faster and stronger next year and away to go. Yeah,
exactly. And like, was it a confidence thing, do you think, with the couple of offs you had, or a little bit of that?
Just like I said, when you've thrown yourself down the track more often than not, it just it becomes too hard then. Even though I look like a 12-year-old boy, I am actually 38 now, so I'm not bouncing as hard as I used to as well. But I will be there parading a couple of bikes. Me and Bob Dowie from Neath are bringing up a couple of special little 50s, 125s and stuff. So we're going to be starting them up.
Yeah, it'd be a nice different weekend, I suppose.
And I might jump in the commentary box with Rob as well.
Yeah,
have a good chat.
Yeah, we're hoping to do a bit on Friday as well. We're hoping to sort of scout around and do a bit more video footage, speak to people, and maybe on the Saturday as well do a little sort of review as to what the day's been, maybe. So.
But what? Let's cut to the brass tacks. What really matters is the racing.
Absolutely.
The boys are going to put on a hell of a show. We'll have a bit of a prediction thing going by here.
Yeah.
I don't know, Chris. Are we putting any money on these predictions as well? Do you want to be the delegate? Do you want to be the referee?
Well, I think I'll probably just agree with what you're going to say, and then we can just call it evens then. Right. But I think there's going to be one name that's going to be from the off, really, the man to beat. Last year dominated there. It's going to be Ryan Nixon, and he's coming into there. He is on the Super Twins as well. But let's have a look at the Welsh Open first, the blue ribbon event. I mean, Ryan's the man to beat, isn't he?
Well, trick bits. Paul Jinks puts a hell of a bike together. He's got a hell of a team. Ryan, like I said, unbeaten all last year.
Andy Smart was the only one to beat him in the second final of the Welsh Open. So it was just 11 out of the 12 he won.
Yeah, because we got.
I say jest.
We got cancelled, didn't we, with the invitation race?
Yeah.
So Ryan, like I said, he was on form last year. I don't really know how well he's going in this no limits thing this year.
No, I'm not sure. I know.
But he was on form last year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he had a good weekend at Scarborough as well.
Yeah.
First time there, so he is on form there. And
I saw some videos of him all shot in on the Super Twin and stuff. So again, for both the Open and the Twins, he's going to be formidable.
Yeah, and I think looking at last year as well, he might have won 11 out of 12 races, but like we said in the last year, you had to work for it, whether it was yourself and Andy was somebody who did actually manage to beat him over the weekend. Andy's coming back, he's not a newcomer anymore. Yeah. He's one dark horse for me. Well, you can't even say dark horse really, but he's going to be up there.
Never been there before, broke his leg a couple of years back, and then had to switch to a right-hand shift, which is you know, that's completely rewiring your brain to ride a bike. Yeah, for him to come there and be straight on mine and Ryan's case, yeah, it was really impressive. Robbie Silvestre, the VRS team, the bike throw was immaculate. You know, the twin is a good twin. The 636 Kawasaki is a good bike as well. So yeah, you know, he got down to the times. He beat me in a couple. He beat Ryan as well. So I can't see why not. Obviously, it's all depending on how well they go at the Southern this week, because the 700's on right now.
As we speak, so that could determine any sort of slight issues, or it could be a good thing from a confidence point of view. It could be he could be coming off the back of the Southern.
You know, he might just have a wobble on the Southern and save himself to, you know, maybe become king of the park or whatever.
I'm very interested to see how Andy does on that one. Obviously, a previous Open winner, Mark Goodins, I know he had issues with his bike last year, but he is back on an R6 again this year. Yeah. I know Mark wasn't the TT this year. I'm not quite sure why, but you can't really discount Mark either, can you?
Well, Mark, you know, he's always there and thereabouts. Do you know what I mean? You know, anything can happen. He's always starting good. The bike throw was fast. I think he's been out to Darley-Moor a couple of times this year as well. So again, you know, them boys are all going to be up to speed. Don't forget we got Lewis Jones coming as well.
Yeah, he's back with Paul on the Trick Bits machine. So Lewis, a young lad, he's still doing pretty well in Super Sports.
Yeah, British Super Sport Cup winner.
Yeah, I think another year under his belt. You know, he was.
Well, he did a 39. You know, last year. Yeah. He banged that in from nowhere. Again, that caught us all off guard. So yeah, you know,
keep an eye on Lewis there. I think he could be knocking on the door as well for maybe a podium. Maybe we'll have to wait and see on that one. But Ty Jones is coming back as well. Yeah. So I'm not sure what he's going to be on, and I know he hasn't ridden for a while. But
I think Ty's he's coming back on his trusty old 675 in the Open, his Triumph. So keep eye out for that. This is going to be a toss up between Paul Pochi Williams from Penrith Khyber, local boy, or Ty Jones for the best stand-up wheelie.
No, that is a challenge set.
That is a good one.
That is a challenge set. And we'd be able to check this time because of the cameras are going to be there.
I'm not up to much on the weekend. You're not really up to much. Maybe we could do like a ice skating scorecard type of deal on the back straight.
Like a 10 from Len job.
Yeah, it'd be pretty fun, like.
Yeah, we can have a look at that. And I said we've got the cameras to
put the back up. Bribes are welcome.
Yeah, so more than welcome. Yeah, it's got a fun list. So that's going to be interesting to see how Ty gets on. And Pochi's going to be in there as well. It's been a couple of years since he's been, because he likes to keep his bikes over at the Isle of Man ready for the Manx, but he is here this weekend.
I think he's on his boys GSXR 600.
So again, can't discount Pochi either.
Yeah. Alex Sinclair?
Yeah, I got Alex Sinclair in here as well. So he's on a 675, I think.
Well, I seen him mention a 675 in a Facebook post this week, but I thought someone else was. I've seen him out testing the older generation 675. Good bike, you know. I had plenty of success on them. They work around the park. They've got all the mid range. But I don't know, is he on the Luigi 748, which is a work of art?
Yeah, I think he's on that for the classics.
Right, and then he's on the Aprilia Trofeo, the
twins,
the BMR one.
Yeah.
In the twins. So yeah, I seen a 675 get mentioned, but I
think we'll have to sort of watch it. That's something we can try and look at on Friday when we're sort of looking at the paddock.
But again, he's capable of doing the lap times on both the 748 and the Aprilia anyway. So.
I think it's really competitive this year, like looking at the Open. I suppose you could look at the Park Challenge as well, because they are similar sort of grids there. But I'm fascinated as to how this is going to go. Let's do the predictions now. I'm gonna start looking at these. Jay, who do you think your Welsh Open champion's going to be?
Andy Smart.
You're going to go for Andy Smart? I am going to go for Ryan. Yeah. I think Ryan's just about going to do it, but I think it's going to be close between them two.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really, really close. And I think I'm going to go the opposite. I think in the Park Challenge, I'm going to go Andy.
Yeah.
And who are you gonna go for?
Park Challenge.
It's much of a muchness today in a way, because it's a similar thing. I do.
The 600 is the weapon.
Yeah, I do think Andy's got
a super sport bike is the weapon. Now, I can't, like, from the lightweight entry, is there any sharp GP 250s in there?
Yeah, I think it's going to be from a super sport machine. I think this year.
Like, you know, if one of the top boys came, you know, your Rob Odsons, your Mikey Evanses, Darryl Tweed, them boys, Jamie Coward, that can actually pedal a super twin. I'm not saying that the boys riding super twins are slow, but those boys are just sort of that next level.
It's not impossible.
One of those could win the Open.
Yeah, it's not impossible, is it?
But again, it's all depending on how hot it is, the tarmac, the conditions. You know, 140 horsepower might be too much.
Yeah.
You know, 110 horsepower twin might
just be
might
enough
be able to put it down, like,
for everyone's capabilities, isn't it? Really.
For the
park, who do you think?
I'm gonna go with Andy again. I just feel the way something clicked.
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon last year, they found a setting,
and they looked good.
And it just he blew past me, he blew past Ryan, and he was on his way. Like
it looked like he didn't look like a newcomer anymore.
No,
in the space of a day.
Yeah,
and that's impressive.
Yeah.
So I got a feeling he's going to get on the top step at some point this weekend. Yeah. I just think Ryan might do enough for the Welsh Open. I know he's going to be taking a step back from sort of full-time racing next year.
Yeah.
He might just want to get this one, get another title. But either way, it's going to be bloody close. Yeah. It's going to be unbelievable.
And plus, now with the new live timing, like, you folks back home, you can sit there and see it all unfold yourselves. Why not come down to the park and see it all unfold? Yeah,
exactly.
In front of you. But both ways, you can see how close it really is.
Yeah, and if you genuinely can't make it, you can watch it on live streaming.
Yeah.
It's great. So you know, you can't miss any of this. So. Super Twins this year, the South Wales Motorcycles Super Twins.
Gareth Bracken, good guy, good little company he's got going there. Nice guy.
I know Will Burchill is due to come in, but I think they've had a couple of issues with that Super Twin when I spoke to Ross recently.
Yeah, well, I was on the phone to Will. Was it this week or was it last week? It was the weekend, I think it was. Talking about the twin, they just had a pretty successful Tandragee first run out on Big Ross's 636. But for some reason the twin just wouldn't go. Would rev up on the stand, but would
not
cut down.
The one I had weight
so
on it.
Tony, his sponsor, who owns the twin, took it back up to his end. They were having a play around with it. I suggested changing a few things, disconnecting a few things, just to try and troubleshoot. And like Will Burchill is with his phone, he's absolutely useless. I've not heard from him since, so that's what he's got it up and running.
Yeah.
But for the twins, once again, we got Ryan, we got Andy,
Alex is in there as well.
Will is in there, William Holland.
Yes, yeah, he did well last year.
You know, again, it's a stacked field of super twins. You know, they're all probably 100 horsepower plus. Pochi.
Yeah, he's in there as well.
He's on the GSS.
I think it's gonna. It's going to be competitive again. It's similar to the Open. I
love the twins. I love the smaller classes. Like racing a 600. Yeah, you just go and buy all the kit stuff. You put the kit fairing on, the kit generator, whatever. Yeah. The super twin, super mono class. Like, you know, I've got an affinity to the super mono. You know what I mean? Katie is back together now, thank God. But we're just not riding. But it's such an engineer's class. It's like the last of the Open classes. So you do see some real genius, like people building chassis. You know, different people using different suspension, different wheels, different engine configurations. You know, there's the V twin of the SV, which Ryan's on. There's the parallel twin of the Kawasaki, which Andy Smart's on.
And the pattern that Mikey would have been on as well, but we'll talk about Mikey in a sec. But I think the Super Twins class is getting more popular as well. It's starting to build more credit, maybe because the TT's putting a lot of focus on it as well. And
that and Yamaha, Yamaha, Suzuki, and Aprilia all are building competitive twins now.
And I think
the Sportbike class in British Championship has also helped that. So
and it suits the park quite well, I think, the twins as well. And I think that will definitely be interesting to see how that develops. But who do you think is going to take the Super Twin? Again, it's hard, isn't it?
The way the absolute dedication and anger Alex Sinclair's got at the minute, just to put all his haters and all his doubters after all the absolute bullshit of the Manx drug bloody whatever it was.
Yeah.
The big cock up that they made of him and how bad they made him look. I'm putting Alex down. I think he's hungry. I think he wants it, and I think he will hang it out this year.
I think Alex has been on brilliant form in the Classic Championship as well. And you can read the feature that I did with Alex. It's on the website, and it's going to be in the programme this year as well. So make sure you pick one up when you come in, and it sort of tells Alex's story from the park last year. We had a brilliant weekend, straight to all the stuff that happened to the Manx, and it was just it was horrendous. And we had a good hour and a half chat on the phone, and as we were doing the interview, and it's raw, man. Yeah, it's raw, and there is a GoFundMe page to sort of help for his losses from last year to help go back to the Manx this year. So that's all in the programme as well. So make sure you have a look at that. But it's not a bad shout, the Super Twins, and he rides that pretty well. He's used to it. Again, it's not a bad shout.
Again, I really think it's going to be close.
It's going to be close. Before I actually put my prediction down, I would have put Mikey Reese up there, but he's done his shoulder in. For those who don't know, Mikey was going to be coming down, but he stalled on the grid at Cadwell, and I think two bikes went straight into the back of him, and he's done his shoulder, something in his back as well.
He's in a bit of a bad state.
So I spoke to him earlier in the week. He's all right. He's a bit bumped and bruised. And I said, you're going to be right for the Manx? Yeah, I'll be ready. He's off his head. I'd have to have a year off, I think, if I had that to be. But he is going to be there. I think he's coming on the infield, and he'll have some of his bikes there. So make sure you go up and have a look and say hello to him. He won't be on his pattern. I think he's got, isn't it, for the Super Twin. I'm going to go Ryan on this one. I'm going to go Ryan. I think I'm playing slightly. I wouldn't say safer bets because it is that close. I think
I've gone Andy twice. So
that twin is class. To be fair, I think. And
that trick pitch twin has had a lot of development. It's probably the best SV650 based Gladius in the world.
Yeah.
I've ridden it myself, and I know how good it is. It's probably the best Suzuki SV650 in the world. So yeah,
I think that's what I'm going to go for. Let's have a look at the classic Superbikes. There's a slight reg change this year, so we can run slightly different machines of the classic Superbikes. Last year in the golden era, as it was classed, Alex dominated it. I think he's got a bit more to work with this year. He's got Pochi coming in.
Yeah.
And he's got Chris Northover, which I'm very interested.
What's Chris on?
I'm not sure. We'll have to check on that one. But Chris is coming in. It's in the programme. I'll have to check. But yeah, I'm knowing Chris's capabilities. That's going to be fascinating, I think.
Once again, another stack race. Yeah. Like we're only talking about three boys in the classic Superbike gear, but it's a full grid.
Yeah, all the grids are full this year, and what's been good about this year is the entries have come up. I think there's almost 20 newcomers coming in, so there could be someone completely under the radar that we're not sure of yet. I just clicked with this place. We just don't know yet.
Same as what we said with Andy Smart.
He's come in, and
so someone might someone might be there with a well-sorted classic Superbike,
and just goes, where did he come from? That's brilliant. So we're just going based on riders we do know, and it's
like Alex last year. He reminded me of Paolo Casoli. Now, they used to run the yellow 748Rs in World Super Sport then in the 90s, 98, 99. And seeing that tear around. And of course, Rich Llewellyn, Luigi Moto puts together a rocket ship of a Ducati anyway.
I think
Will is on a Ducati as well, man. Will Burchill.
So I again, that class has sort of really, really opened up, I think. I know Alex is, and that Ducati best looking bike of the weekend.
Oh, it's stunning.
It is unbelievable, to be fair. I don't know, it's just, that's fascinating. Like, I know Alex is so dominated, but it has thrown a cat amongst the pigeons.
But again, it's one of those ones. It's a V-twin versus an inline 4. I'm guessing Pocci's on his ZXR 750 to have a run out before the Manx. Is Pocci gonna hang it out? Yeah, I'm gonna say if he's in with a chance of a pot and some prize money, then I can see him. I can see him, going for it. But like I said, Alex can ride that Ducati. He's been on that Ducati at CRMC all year. He's been dominating that class. 100 horsepower to about 100 and, what would that ZXR be? 140 horsepower, 150 horsepower of a ZXR. That Ducati's got a lot of mid-range. So, and that's what you need at the park. Do you know what I mean? So, it's going to be a close one.
Closer. Are you going for Alex?
I'm going for Pocci.
You're going for Pocci?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Alex. Nice. I think he's flying on that thing at the moment, like you said, and I think he's so much more comfortable on those classic superbikes. Yeah. I think he's just about going to have enough, but it'd be, again, it's so hard to say, isn't it, really? I think, like I said, Pocci's going to be there. I think Chris is going to be there. Will's probably going to be knocking the door as well if he's getting used to that Ducati as well.
Well, he's been on. Will was on the Ducati at CRMC. I think at the beginning of the year. So
he's had a bit. He's had a bit of track time.
Has a run out on it,
it's quite good. Our predictions are they are different to everyone at the moment, so it'll be quite interesting to see how it's going to end up. Lightweight this year. Will isn't riding on his lightweight this year, by the looks of things, on that 400, as far as I can tell.
Don't know.
Yeah, because I know he's going so well on that, so I'm not sure what the reason is for that. But the two...
Didn't it look like a Rottweiler mounting a Yorkshire Terrier?
Yeah, the TV stuff, he went really fast. Like, you're flying,
you go fast if you had a Rottweiler on your back.
I have to dig it out because I've seen all the footage that Greenlight have sent over, and when he tells a story about that piece of straw going in his helmet, it is genuinely true because we have got a camera facing his helmet. I mean, them two were flat out, Chris, and he was great. Well, probably the best race of the weekend as well, unbelievable. But if Will's not in there, Chris Norfolk was in there, and Ty Jones is in there as well.
Yeah, Ty's got NC30.
I that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. Maybe just using the 400 to get up to speed for the 600 for the Open. Yeah. Maybe he's got a sorted NC30, and he's that's what Chris is on. We know NC30 works on the park. So, but again with the lightweight, we've got how many newcomers?
Quite a few again, yeah. We just don't know.
I bet there's a couple of 400 boys there who have,
knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, and used to their machines, and they just, like, again, click with the park. Some people just go, it's going to take a while to get used to. But by the time they have a practice on Saturday, we're like, oh, okay, I'm tuned into this. Yeah. So we could have a couple even knocking on the podium.
But, I'm going to go with Ty.
You go for Ty?
For the win, because I've raced him. He is a talent. All right, he's been away for a couple of years, but...
Well, he's going to be up there. He's going to be up there.
He's got a lot of
lose talent.
Yeah, he's got a lot of natural talent. Not taking away from Chris. Love Chris to bits.
No, absolutely.
But if it comes down to the nitty gritty, I think Ty will just pip him.
I'm going to go for Chris. I think based on last year as well. I think, well, there was one of the races where he did manage to pull out a little bit from Will. Will did manage to bring it back, but I think Chris was sort of taking his time then. But I am very interested in the battle with Ty or somebody else that might come in. Yeah. But based on the ones that we do know, I think it'll be between them two at first glance. And I just think Chris will do enough. Not taking anything away from Ty. But again, another fascinating.
Yeah, so you know, we might be completely wrong.
Exactly.
On everything.
Exactly. But it's good to sort of run through, you know, what to expect this weekend. Look at the ultra lightweight. It's slightly smaller grid for this one this year. But it's good that they're not sort of amalgamated into the lightweight as well. So every class has got their own grid. So we've got really, really good numbers this year. So which is really, really
well,
good
ultra
to
lightweight
see.
now will have the
250s and the 125s.
250s, 125s, free techs.
Yeah.
So
it's a bit of amalgamation that one as well.
So someone that can ride a free tech well should be able to get up to speed, up to mid-ish pack if they're up against Grand Prix 125s, Moto 3 bikes, and
machinery will be key on that one. I know Chris North is riding a 125 in it, so I know Aaron Matthews is round there as well, so he could be up there. So that'll be a slightly skewed one depending on what bikes they got really. But I think knowing Chris's talent round there, and I think he loved riding the lightweight, I'm going to go for Chris on the ultra lightweight.
Well, do you remember a couple of years ago there was Alistair Fagan and Will Holland going round there on free techs. Now is Will entered in the free tech?
Not 100% sure yet. I think there's a few entries coming in at the moment. So
But again, at the moment, looking at the list there, I got to say Chris on that one as well.
But again, I do love the old lightweights, ultra lightweights around the park. It just takes me back to the Lacquer, Palmer, Nigel John days. Unbelievable.
A 125 or sorted GP 250 around there. There's nothing better.
Well, I mean, Welsh Opens have been won on 250s, haven't they? So
up until John Simpson came along.
Yeah, they always were.
It was a 250 track.
Yeah, and it's something quite nostalgic of and smelling those two strokes if somebody's got one. It's going to be. That's going to be good. So I think racing's going to be good on that one. And CB500s as well. You know, you've got the likes of Dan Pearson's going to be in there, Marty Robbins. But I know the racing for CB500s is always really good. To be fair, they're quite fun to watch.
Are they bandits?
Bandits and CB500s together, yeah. So
should be good.
Yeah, that could be a good one.
Now Dan was on a Kawasaki last year, wasn't he? He was on an ER5.
Yeah.
So that's unusual in his thing, because me and a couple of the boys, we had CB500s to go racing before, and we looked at the ER5, but you could get more tuning bits for a CB500. But again, it's depending on newcomers as well. Yeah. Like
I know Wayne
is Adam Shelton that's doing all the winning up in Scarborough, and he's taken it to the classic superbikes around there. There was a great video last week of him pushing a ZXR 750 around Scarborough on a CB500, backing it in and attacking apexes. So all we need is someone like that. But yeah, Dan went well last year. Marty wasn't far away.
I know Wayne did well. Obviously, he's still injured at the moment, so hopefully he's recovering as well. So
there's Lee Davis on his Bandit. I think Tim Hawkins is coming on his Bandit. So it's nice. It'll be nice to see Papa Pig on his.
It'll be quite competitive, and like I said, the racing's always good. Like looking back from last year, they were always scrapping at the back. So, what are you gonna go for?
For CB500 overall, I go for Dan.
I'm gonna go. I think Dan did really well last year, and I think he's riding quite a lot as well this season. Yeah. So I think he's going to be in tune. But I don't. Marty won't be far behind him, I think. And again, who else is going to come in? Yeah. Right, predictions are in. We've gone through each of the classes. Is there anything else that you're looking forward to this year? Because again, it's another big year.
Well, like I said, I'm going to be down. I'm going to be hanging out. I'm going to be helping the newcomers out. I'm going to be in the paddock. I'm going to be on the infield. You know, I'm parading a couple of bikes. I might be in the commentary booth. Yeah, I might be on the pedalos at one point. I don't know. I'm going to be spread so thin, but I just want to hang out, drink a beer, say hello to a lot of people, you know, have a laugh, enjoy the racing, and just enjoy the
And can we actually say that it's going to be an absolutely scorching this weekend? Or are we just going to jinx it?
Red hot.
We've gone past the point now where it's going to piss down.
Rain in between showers.
Yeah, it's
going to be scorching.
It's going to be a good one. Yeah. So, yeah, I can't wait for it now. And I think, like I said, seeing the ticket sales coming in and actually flying in this week, really, really excited. It's going to be as busy as last year, if not busier. Yeah. Again, live timing, so everyone can access that. There'll be a QR code in the program to keep an eye on the live timing. Live streaming, if you want to watch it trackside, yes, there will be a slight delay, obviously, but you know, you'll be able to watch the rest of the racing from your phone if you want to, or up on the paddock, whatever you want to do. So yeah, tickets still on sale. Make sure you get them as soon as you can, because it's going to help you to get in quicker. There's also spectator information that's on the website now, so make sure you check that out before you arrive. Parking spaces and everything's on the infield, and all the information's there for you if you haven't been before. Same with camping as well. You'll be coming through the top paddock, and then people will sort of direct you to where you need to be situated. But apart from that, it's going to be a really, really good weekend, and I'm absolutely buzzing for it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'll have t-shirts for sale as well on the infield, yeah. So I got to get that in. I got to find a way to fund 2026. Yeah.
So, beer money for the Saturday,
yeah, exactly. Ice cream money. But yeah, I'll have both old and new designs there for sale as well. Pop down, see the J Bob bikes, and come and say hello and just hang out.
Yeah, also worth noting as well, the parades are really full this year as well. So there's going to be a lot of interesting machinery sort of floating about during the parade races as well. So we've got our predictions in. We'll have a look back after the weekend to see where we are. We'll hopefully try and get some content out on Friday, maybe on Saturday evening as well, to look back on the day's racing. But apart from that, we're buzzing for it, and we'll see you on the weekend.